You good to start, Jeff?
Yeah.
You're good? Okay, so I'll just do a quick introduction. Are you both? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shannon Burke. I'm the regional manager of the Central East Regional Cancer Program, Cancer Screening and Prevention. Thank you for coming today to learn about Ocean e-referrals. We know that a few others will probably be joining us, but they're probably just finishing up morning clinic duties and all of that. And we are recording the presentation just for the opportunity for those to listen in later that weren't able to join. Today we have Wilhelmina from Ontario Health East digital team, and you could probably introduce yourself much better than I can. And Jap Jetty, again from the digital team at Ontario Health East, but also kind of Scarborough. I don't really understand where you sit in the world, Jap, but your job is very interesting to me. And I see Dr. Ray has joined us too as our primary care physician lead. So thanks so much for joining. And I guess we'll just turn it over to you, Jeff, and we can hear all about Ocean e-referral and the benefits for primary care. So thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Shannon. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Just to reintroduce myself, Jap Judy, e-referral change management specialist out of Ontario Health East. My email is at Scarborough Health Network because they're working as a delivery partner for Ontario Health East. So it does sound a little bit funny sometimes who I work for or what I do, but really what I do is I help clinics and clinicians all over Central East region get set up with Ocean e-referral. And my colleague in the call with me, Wilhelmina, she does the same. So I do have a presentation planned out for you guys today. I do webinars quite often. So some of the material is in a crossover from some of the other webinars I do. So I should be sharing my screen now. Wilhelmina, can you see my screen? Great. So
Yep,
we
you're
are
good.
here today to learn about everybody's favorite thing, Ocean e-referral. Oh my gosh, I'm excited about it. I hope by the end of the call that you guys are excited about it as well. So let's hop right into it. So I recognize a few names in this call, so I don't think Ocean e-referral is going to be brand spanking new to all of you, but for some of you it may be. But e-referral is pretty much just an electronic platform that turns that fax referral process into an electronic one, hence the name e-referral. One of the biggest reasons why we hear about e-referral so much, particularly in the Central East and Durham region, is because it integrates with the most common EMRs in the region. So that is PS Suite, Accuro, or Oscar Pro. If you're using one of these EMRs, you're going to get a few additional features and additional enhancements. But if you're not using one of these EMRs, you can always just use your Google Chrome browser or Internet Explorer to send a referral as well. This slide has a lot of information on it. I'm not going to go through it all, but really what it discusses is the history of the program, that electronic referrals have been around for a while. They started in 2017 in the West region, and they really started taking off in Central East in 2022 with a focus from Lakeridge coming in 2023. And it's definitely expanded a lot. When I started in March of 2022, we only had 30 destinations that were receiving referrals in all of Central East. Today, that number is over 300. So, that's over a 1000% increase in 2 years. So there's been a lot of great work happening on behind the scenes to get a whole list of receiver destinations for you guys to refer to. Another really big reason that we hear about Ocean e-referral a lot, and this is really great for primary care, is that this is fully funded. So there has never been any cost associated with sending electronic referrals, but what the funding covers for primary care is it allows somebody like Wilhelmina or myself to work with your clinician group to help you guys get set up. So that would include, setting up any things in the EMR, providing training, and even ongoing support if any new clinicians join down the line. So we know that there's always a new portal or there's always somebody asking you to join something, but at least with e-referral, you will have a dedicated resource assigned to your clinic to take off, a lot of the thinking or um, that administrative burden that comes up with signing with any new electronic service. Some of the benefits for yourself, your patients, and for the receiving clinics are outlined on this slide. So first off, there's a searchable map-based directory. You guys have all referred via fax, and if you're trying to refer to someone new, you're trying to search up their CPSO, you're trying to look on Google. It's kind of hard to figure out, who is based where, what services they provide. With Ocean e-referral, as we're going to see in the live demo in a few minutes, it's a lot more simple. One of the biggest benefits of for primary care is that you can search by wait time or you can search by proximity to your patient's home. We're definitely trying to expand our wait times on the health map, but there already is a good library of low wait time clinics that you could shop around and see what works best for your patient. The referral forms on Ocean eReferral are designed by the receiving clinic, and they have a minimum amount of information that you need to put in order to refer to that clinic. The way that helps primary care is it really, really decreases your declined referrals. When you're referring to the clinic, you're going to know that your referral is considered complete. Any sort of attachments like lab reports or something of that nature will be very clearly outlined in the form. So this way, they're not going to decline your referral and say, hey, sorry, we didn't have enough information. One of the biggest benefits for your administrative staff is the messaging embedded in eReferral. We know a lot of our admins in the Central East region really like this feature. So rather than calling the receiving clinic and asking them a question pertaining to the referral that you have sent, you can just shoot them a quick message as it's bi-directional communication and electronic referral. So um, something you may update them is like, oh, you might be like, oh, my patient has a new phone number, rather than calling the receiving clinic and letting them know that. You can just shoot them a quick message. We know it's really hard to get people on the phone these days, and voicemail takes a long time to reply to. So messaging is definitely one thing that our admins tell us that they really like. For your patients, the biggest benefit is going to be that they can get email updates if the receiving clinic sends them out via Ocean. Some of those updates will include like, oh, your referral has been sent, or your appointment has been booked, and it will provide information relating to those referral details. So now, as soon as your patient leaves the clinic, if you send an electronic referral, they already have a record of your referral sent in their email. So that's really useful. I'm going to take a quick pause here and just see if we have any questions to start off with about eReferral. Who's eligible to join, the history of the program, or any of these benefits listed over here. Dr. Ray?
Thanks. I had a question about the searching. So I use eReferral a fair bit, and I find it hard sometimes to locate exactly what I'm looking for. So I use it. So for example, yesterday I was trying to make, so I had used, I don't know if I'd used it to refer to an orthopedic surgeon, but an orthopedic surgeon had said to me, this patient needs a wrist x-ray performed at Lakeridge Health Oshawa before their appointment on May the 4th. So I thought, oh, perfect. I'll do this through eReferral. And Lakeridge Health I couldn't find x-ray on there. So there was actually a Lakeridge Health imaging, but it didn't include x-ray. It included everything except for general radiology. So I regularly use the eReferral for CT and MR, and I wondered if x-ray is purposefully excluded. And then my other comment is sometimes I actually often I find it really challenging to search for exactly what I want. So if I know an imaging site or like for example, the Ross, I have a patient, because I'm in the North Durham, I have patients who often want to go to the Ross. And if it's hard to search. I don't know if it's because of the search terms. Like sometimes I have to type in Ross and then it'll bring it up. But if I typed in imaging, it wouldn't bring anything up for Lindsay. So how do we navigate that part as a family doc? Because that is the piece I do find really challenging.
Yeah, so thanks for that feedback, Dr. Ray. And I won't lie, it's not the first time that I've heard this specific feedback that you've given, is that searching in the health map isn't as streamlined as we want to be. So we're actually undergoing some initiatives to try improving this. There's a working group behind the scenes to see if we can make this a little bit better. So I do think this will improve in the given months. Ocean eReferral, we are always trying to improve certain aspects of it, given feedbacks from our physicians. But I was about to head into the demo anyway, so why don't we just speed that up and let's go right into the health map. So I'll get to search terms. Just give me 1 or 2 minutes to demo what's on screen now, and then I'll give you some search terms tips. Okay, so um, for the rest of us on the call, I'm sure that some of you guys have used Ocean eReferral too, so this screen might be familiar to you. This is the eReferrals and eConsults page. You can see in the top right corner, I'm signed in as Dr. Judy at Central East Test Listing. So I just want to note that this screen, you can launch this from your EMR if you've been set up by the provincial initiative, and myself or Wilhelmina has helped you out with setting this up. So you don't have to come to Google Chrome, but it is available via web browser as well. So we're just going to take a quick trip over to the health map by clicking menu and then health map, and we'll get back to that e-referrals and e-consults page a little bit later. So this is the health map that Dr. Ray was talking about. Its purpose is used as a directory to find clinics and clinicians that are receiving referrals. So for example, if you wanted to find a Scarborough Health Network clinic, because that's my home hospital, you could type in SHN, and you can see that all of these blue stars start to litter the map. These blue stars correspond with Ocean listings over here on the left-hand side. If it has a green arrow, it means that it's live and it's accepting electronic referrals. You can see that at least at SHN and other clinics in the Central East region, such as Lake Ridge, there are quite a lot of clinics that are receiving referrals. You can even search by other things like a particular physician's names, search by, Dr. Smith, Dr. Jones, whoever it may be that's your friend, or you can even search by a surgical service. So for example, we could type in orthopedics, and you could see that, orthopedics, and you can see that all these blue stars start to litter the map. I'm just going to take a quick second to answer Dr. Ray's question. So what I have noticed with my time for searching for clinics to refer to is that the more information you type, unfortunately, it gets very, it sort of confuses the system. So for example, if I'm going to type in Ontario wrong and type in Shores. If I type in Ontario Shores, you'll see that no blue stars start to litter the map. But if I just try Shores, you can see that Ontario Shores will show up as a destination to refer to. So this is probably my biggest tip. So rather than typing out, Lake Ridge Health Diagnostic Imaging, I probably typed in something. Oh, I typed it out right. Sometimes it might just be more helpful to shorten your search term, type diagnostic imaging only, and then see what comes up. The issue comes out is when you're typing specific clinic names or specific doctor's name. I would always recommend just shorten it. It's definitely not the most efficient, but it's what I find that will get a little bit more accurate. Your list will definitely be a little bit longer than you'd like it to be, rather than something as specific as these three listings. But it's better to at least have it come up than it not come up at all due to you searching something a little bit wrong, because this search bar is very sensitive. Dr. Ray?
Do you mind just scrolling so Port Perry's included and then running that list again? I'm just curious to know if Port Perry comes up when you do that.
Yep.
Yes, brilliant. Okay, and then will you click on the Oshawa one and just see if X-ray is in there?
Jeff, I just took a look. X-ray is not, so I'm going to reach out to Vicky to find out why X-ray is not on the requisition.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. I think it's the same for Port Perry, and I do I would say I don't often refer to X-ray in Oshawa. It's a rare event, but if the orthopedic surgeons ask it, this is the second time I've been asked in the last couple of weeks for me to order an X-ray before they're being seen, then it would be ideal for it to be within the hospital system because they're going to be seen there. And I do often refer to Port Perry for X-ray. And so I know we've got a big group in Port that would often do that. So that would be helpful.
Yeah, that's honestly, Dr. Ray, that is super helpful feedback, and that's something that we could probably fix and turn around within next week, is get X-ray on that. I'm not sure, it might have slipped the form, or there may be a more particular reason why they didn't put X-ray on there, but I know at Oshawa, because I work with the Rapid Access Clinic there, like they have X-rays in that building. So if they have it, it should be on the Ocean e-referral form. So we'll take a look at that, and we will update you on that. I'll grab your email from from Shannon after this call's over, and we'll update you. Okay, going back to the presentation. So the whole idea is that you can search for a clinic that you want. I just mentioned the RAC, so why don't we try referring to the RAC? So you could see I can type in the RAC, and there's all these blue stars that start to litter the map. But if I zoom in on a specific area of the map, it will only search for that area. If you want to search for areas outside of the map that you're looking on, you can click on this blue lettering down here that says whole directory, and it will search throughout all Ontario for you. So now that I found the clinic that I want to refer to, so let's say, Lake Ridge Health Rapid Access Clinic, hip and knee arthritis, what we can do is we can click on this listing. Once you click on a specific listing, it will give you a little bit more specific information pertaining to that listing. So, here's the title, here's the address. Sometimes there'll be a fax number, phone number, and email up here if the clinic decides to put that. There will even be a description of the clinic services. We always recommend for our family practice, the first time you're referring to a clinic, please do read the clinic description. Sometimes there's going to be pertinent information required before you refer to that clinic. Something may be like, oh, we need x-rays for our patients to be seen at this clinic. Sometimes they may write that in the clinic description. What's more interesting for primary care is all of these health service offerings at the bottom. So these are all search terms that you can put into the into the search bar, and this clinic would come up. So for example, here's orthopedics hip, here's orthopedics knee, and they also do arthroplasties and arthroscopies as well. So this really helps you narrow down on what subspecialties that this clinic sees. So if I was a GP and I was referring to this clinic, I would know right off the bat, hey, my patient has a shoulder referral. I probably better not send them to this clinic. They won't see them, or an ankle referral, whatever it may be. It's just for hip and it's just for knee. I can search for those specific, ankle or shoulder health service offerings separately if I want to refer my patient for that. Also really interesting, and this is something that GPs really want to know, and this is what we're going to hope is become really fully fleshed out in the Central East region, is the wait times. So a lot of our hospital clinics that are high volume, they do have wait times associated with specific health service offerings. So you can see, for an assessment for hip, it's 17 days, and for knee right now it's 15 days. So you know that when you refer to this clinic, you can expect your patient to be booked in to be seen within 2 weeks. So if you were to go out of here, you can even sort by distance or wait time. Or sorry, you can sort by default, which is just what's on your map. You can search by distance, because if you launch this from an EMR, your patient's address would be here. And then you could search by the place closest to your patient's home. But if you search by orthopedics hip, so if you search by health service offering, you can even filter by wait time. So you can see, this clinic has 13 days, this clinic has 17 days, this clinic has 28 days, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to send a referral. I'm going to go to my favorites tab, and I'm going to go to the Southeast Diagnostic Imaging demo site. You can favorite specific listings if you find that you're going to refer to them quite often. So if you're referring to DI very often enough, you could favorite that and it would come up here. And instead of searching for it every single time, you could just click on it from your favorites. So that's another tip for Dr. Ray. I'd recommend that if you find yourself referring to the same place over and over, just favorite it, and then it'll come up in your favorites tab, which is you can go to by clicking the star. So we're going to go to this diagnostic imaging demo site. I'm going to quickly just click on this toggle option to turn it into test mode, because we don't want to send any live referrals. And then we are going to come to the referral form. So I'm not going to fill out the entire referral form right now, but I am going to speak to it. This referral form will most likely look a lot different for you guys when you guys are sending, because you're going to be sending via an integrated EMR. I didn't pull up an EMR today because I'm not sure what you guys are using, but the first thing to note is that there's 3 sections on this form, which we're going to go through, and then I'll tell you what will automatically populate and what will not. So the patient information section, as we know, we've all sent a referral before. We know what this is. Pretty common stuff, all the regular demographics that you're going to see on any referral form. At the bottom is my refers information. So you can see it's Dr. Jeff Judy. Here's my fax number. Here's my phone number. It's going to stamp at the bottom of any referral that I send out. If you're set up as a delegate for any other physician, or if I'm an admin referring and I'm an admin for several physicians, I can choose which physician I'm referring on behalf of. There will usually be a drop down menu over here, and I could, refer on behalf of Shannon, or I could refer on behalf of Wilhelmina, or whoever it may be. So that's a cool feature that we like to know as well. So it isn't the physician who has to send the referral. The admin could send the referral on the physician's behalf if they were correctly set up. What changes is in this referral form is what's in the middle, but we'll get to this in a second. So the first thing I want to note is that if you're sending via an integrated EMR, the time savings are huge, because a lot of the information will pull from your EMR into Ocean. So you would not have to type in the first name, the last name, the address. As long as that information is in the patient chart in your TELUS, Oscar, or Accuro, it will auto-populate in here. Other examples of information that auto-populate into the center, which is like that referral form, are things known as CPP. So things such as height, weight, medications, allergies. There's a whole suite of things that will auto-populate, which is going to save primary care time from having to type this out or scribble it out onto a piece of paper. So a lot of the information in your EMR is going to get sent alongside this referral. And we know that receiving clinics love to get more information. It will just help them make more informed decisions about our patients. So the idea is that you would go down through this form and you would fill out specific answers. If there is a star on that particular section of the form, it means that it's mandatory and we would have to fill it out. So, you could say preferred language English, or if you click preferred language as other, you can see that the form begins to expand. So this is an example of logic that we built into electronic referral forms. Some clinics are quite, let's say, savvy with their logic, and they build out really cool forms. The way that this helps primary care is which particular parts of the form that are relevant for you to fill out. So instead of the form being like 2-3 pages long, it's only going to expand the parts that you need to click out, and it makes it really easy for you guys to refer compared to fax referral forms. So you would go through this, you would fill out the form. Let's say that we want to refer this patient for a CT. You could click on CT. You could say, it's semi-urgent. The reason for exam is patient fell and hit head. The exam of interest is head and neck, routine head. And you could go down and continue filling out all the mandatory questions on the form. Like I mentioned before, I'm not going to fill it out right now, just due to the interest of time, but it is pretty quick. You can even add attachments from your EMR, or if you're sending via the browser like I did, you can add attachments via your computer as well. After all of the information has been filled out, you would go to the bottom and you'd click send e-referral. But the one thing I would want to note is that there's an email category over here. And if you put your patient's email in this field, or if it was already in your EMR and it auto populates, your patients will get emails as it pertains to the referral that you're sending out. So the second that you click send e-referral, it will say, okay, Dr. Ray or Patty has sent like the referral, whoever it is sending it, and they would get that in their email. And we know a lot of your patients are really going to like that, especially the younger patients. Obviously, sometimes we have elderly patients, they may not be as interested, but it's an optional field. So I'm going to take a quick pause because I see some hands in the chat. Dr. Ray?
Thanks, Jeff. I was just wondering before you send it, it asks if the patient has provided email consent and or consent to use email. If you say no, because there's no formal consent to use email on their chart, like in their EMR, will they still get an email saying the referral has been sent or not?
No, it won't.
Okay.
So that's a good question. So Dr. Ray just referring to, if you put the email up here, it will give you a disclaimer saying, do we have, consent for the email, as she outlined. So if you click no there, they will not get any emails. Thank you, Dr. Ray. Dr. Sorensen, good to see you again.
Oh, nice to see you. Quick question. We have now thankfully integrated our Oscar Pro with Ocean. So it does make it 100% easier to send referrals. But you said you could add attachments from the EMR. What we've had to do is download, create a PDF, put it on our desktop, and then upload it from the desktop. So is there an easier way than that for doing it from Oscar Pro?
Absolutely. That is, to me, Dr. Sorensen, that's primitive. We should not be doing that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Wilhelmina if you can boot up Oscar on your end. Dr. Sorensen, I'm hoping you have time to just hang around for another 15 minutes. I will walk you through the Oscar attachment workflow, or Wilhelmina will walk you through that at the end of the demonstration. Is that okay?
It's okay. I actually have an appointment at 1, so I won't be available at the end of, depending on how long this goes on.
I think we'll have another 10 minutes. 10 minutes and I should be done my presentation. And then we could take individual questions.
Okay, perfect. I should be, I just have to be somewhere at 1. So thank you.
That sounds good. Dr. Ray, once again?
I'd love to see that for PS too, because I do the same thing that Anne does. I
Oh my God.
create a PDF and I put it on my desktop and then I upload it in, and I don't know how to attach it directly from the EMR. So that would be fabulous.
Okay,
I
we
have
will.
both. I have both open, Jap.
Yeah, so we'll do that at the end, and we'll show you guys how to do it. It's actually really easy, especially for a PS, Oscar. It's not that much harder. But guys, who trained you up? It wasn't me. Y'all got to get my email and ask me these questions and say, Jap, I need some training. So we are definitely here to help with all of these kind of questions, and we'll get to that at the end of the presentation. So thank you for letting me know that. I'm glad that we have some good things to work on. Okay, so
Do you have one more
now,
question? Sorry, do you have one more question, or is that just a hand that's still up from Anne?
yeah, Dr. Sorensen, I'm assuming that's a
Oh,
legacy. Yep, it's a
okay.
legacy hand.
Legacy hand, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, cool. So I'm assuming now that everybody's going to be an expert at sending you referrals. So at least for the sending you referral part, I want everybody to know how to do it. And if not, just feel free to ask a question in the chat or raise your hand. But assuming that we sent that referral off, we're going to go back to the Ocean portal. And the Ocean portal is used to manage any sent referrals. So I'm just going to quickly switch sites to a site where I've sent off a few more referrals. So I'm now signed in as Dr. Judy from Demo Medical Clinic. And if we take our eyes over here onto the left-hand side, just 1 second. If we take our eyes over here onto the left-hand side, we're going to see that there's a receive section and there's a send section. We're going to just skip over the receive section entirely today, as I'm pretty sure this is all primary care, so nobody in here is receiving too many referrals, and we're just going to go to the send section. So the magic of Ocean for you guys as GPs is you guys get updates on the status of the referral. And you can get this information by just quickly glancing at the screen over here, which is the Ocean portal. So there's all these folders over here. I'm not going to explain them all, but I will explain a few. So awaiting response is for any referrals that you've sent out, but the receiving clinic has not actioned upon them. Pending booking means that the receiving clinic has accepted the referral. Book confirm means that they have scheduled with your patient and that appointment date and time is listed over here. Completed means that your patient has been seen and all interactions as it pertains to the initial referral have been completed. Decline means they declined your referral. Canceled means you canceled the referral. So we could go ahead and we can click on any one of the referrals that we just sent out. So we could take one from Papa Crystal over here. And so this is an example of a referral that was sent out. In the general section, we see all of the information that was put into the patient demographics, the receiving site information. So this is the site that we sent to. It's all over here, their address, their phone number, their fax number. On the referral form summary is all of the answers that we filled out once we were sending that referral out to the receiving clinic. So here's, is a test referral for a hip, for osteoarthritis. CPP, this actually would have auto-populated from the EMR, so this is how it would look like. So in this case, this physician, Dr. D'Souza, did not manually type this, it just automatically populated from the EMR. The notes section in the top right is used for triaging referrals. Very, very, very few GPs use this feature. It's mostly for receivers. The messaging on the right-hand side, I mentioned this earlier, but this is what I would consider to be perhaps the biggest change in workflow. If your clinic decides to use it, it's not mandatory, but you have the option to message the receiver any questions based on the referral that you sent. So let's just do one thing. For example, let's change this patient's phone number from 2222 to 2223. And we could message Bouncy Castle test site saying, hi, patient phone number was changed. They would get a notification saying that, Jap Judy from Demo Medical Clinic has sent a message and he's changed the referral. So one cool thing is that this is a live referral. You can change and edit certain things. You can add attachments after the fact. You can change referral form answers, and you could even message the receiving clinic any sort of questions, comments, or concerns you have about the referral. They in turn could message you back as well. I will show that sort of notification system in a couple of minutes, but and just want to move on to the last section, which is the scheduling section. This was an awaiting response, this particular referral. So there's no scheduling information associated with this referral as of yet. So as the receiving clinic actions on the referral, so as soon as they accept it, it would move from awaiting response into pending booking. As soon as the receiving clinic books that patient, it will move from pending booking to either booked unconfirmed or book confirmed. As soon as they see the patient, it will move to completed. So instead of you guys calling the receiving clinic saying, hey, did you get my referral? Hey, did you book my patient? You can just quickly come into Ocean and check the status by seeing which inbox it's in. Obviously, I have tons of patients over here, so we can actually filter for our specific patient. So I could filter in the top left, patient with the surname Crystal, and you can see now we only have patient Papa Crystal coming up into our sent folder. There's a couple of other features here as well, but I don't want to make this a full-fledged training. So I'm keeping this a little bit high level, but you have the option to do other cool things. Like if you're sending out a referral and you have to get up and leave your desk, you could save it for later and fill it out the next day. But there's like a lot of cool snazzy features that I won't be showing in detail today, but please feel free to connect with me if you want to get like the full training, let's say. The last thing I'm going to show is this is probably the most important folder for primary care. And this is the one where we get mixed feedback, because I do like showing the good things, but I do want to show the mixed feedback as well, is that we have a needs review folder at the top. And our one ask is that our primary care clinicians, that they come in once a day or once every other day into their Ocean portal, and they just see if they have anything in their needs review folder. The needs review folder for primary care will show two kinds of referrals. A is if it's red, it means that that referral has been declined. Or B, if it has a yellow exclamation mark at the end, it means that there's a message on that referral. It may be that the receiving clinic has sent you an initial message, or they have responded to a message that you have already sent. So this is the notification system that we use in Ocean. You can click on any referral and you could see, that this clinic has sent this message. It's just like a template message, but the message could be anything. It could be saying, oh, hey, we need the blood report, or it could be like your patient's not picking up the phone. We're not going to see this patient unless they call us back in a week, something of that sort. I just gave you guys an information bomb. My goodness. I just want to make sure that everybody's following along, or if there's any questions about the things that we've seen, or any feedback, or anything that you guys want to know about Ocean right now. Okay,
I
if
guess,
not, guys,
sorry, Jap, the only
Yep.
thing I would ask is for the portal, do we have to log into that separately, or can we go in from a patient chart? Like, I
Yeah.
never remember what I have no idea what my login is for Ocean, because I always access it directly from a patient chart.
Yeah, that's a great question, Dr. Ray. So you're using TELUS PS Suite. So in every patient chart, there will be a Ocean toolbar in it, and you'll see an Ocean icon. So if you click on that icon, it will give you an option to go to the portal, which is how I recommend you would get to this Ocean portal. The first time you log in, it will ask you to put in your login information. But after that, every time you log in, all of that information will be saved, and you won't have to go to any website or type in any login information, because that would be too troublesome to remember. But great question. And that goes the same for Oscar and for Accuro, that there's buttons built into your EMR into the patient chart, or for Accuro, it's using CDS links that will bring you to this website via one click.
And if we forget our password, is there a password? Is there a way to do that? To reset it?
So this is the login screen. And there's always a forgot password option. So this is my username, this is my password. If I forgot either or, you could click forgot password, and then it would work like any other password reset that you may have seen
Brilliant.
before.
Okay.
Dr. Sorensen?
My question is, I do e-referrals, especially like Ontario Shores Mental Health and things like that.
Yep.
And then it gets, okay, it's being done by an outside provider and it goes into the ether, and I never find out about it after that. So I don't know if there's more of a push to try, and if you're on Ocean, to do more of that messaging and updates, because it can be frustrating as someone who refers through Ocean to just kind of come up against a brick wall and you're told it's being dealt with and you can't find out what's happening with it.
Yeah, so that's probably one of the biggest feedbacks that we got over the last year. So the rest of the physicians know that this sort of process that I show probably covers around 80% of the clinics where they'll provide status updates. Some clinics will use Ocean to receive a referral, and they're going to do what they call externally managed, which is they're just going to tell you that they've received the referral, and any other updates that they have is going to be offline. For Ontario Shores in particular, they've started what we called a Ocean integration with their HIS. I think they use like Cerner or Meditech or one of those. So as soon as that integration is complete, the expectation is that information is going to flow back from their HIS into Ocean. So things like appointment dates and appointment times, as you see in the workflow that I showed today, will be coming to Ontario Shores. I know that project is pretty recent. It's being led by somebody in the East region, someone else on my team, and they started with it a few weeks ago. So we're hoping to see that in the upcoming months, that integration, and more information will come back. Will it be super fully featured? Will they like update you with, every interaction with the patient? I wouldn't go that far, but at least appointment dates and times is the biggest thing that we're hoping will come back to our physicians. So we're definitely listening to the feedback. We hear you, and it just takes a little bit of time. But great feedback, Dr. Sorensen. Any questions from the rest of the gang here? Cara? You're on mute if you're talking. We can't hear you. Okay, well, Cara, you can always type it out. If you're having microphone problems, there's a chat option as well, so you could just type your question out, and hopefully I'll get back to it. If there's no other questions, that really concludes the end of the demo. So this is what I use for our monthly webinars, but what I do want to do is put our team email inbox into the chat. So if you're like, Rebecca or Anne, and you ever had a question and you don't know who to contact, you could definitely just put that email in, email us any questions you have, and we'll always get back to you in under 24 hours. The more fun option is you email me, because I'm way more fun than the rest of everybody else on my team. Sorry, Wilhelmina. So you can always
That's
just email
debatable.
me.
Well, wait a minute. That's debatable.
Yeah, you can always
Oh.
email me directly any questions that you have, and I am a one-stop shop. I will answer any questions that you have about e-referrals. So if there's no further questions, please feel free to follow up with us via email or later on in this call. But I think we are going to switch gears over to that attachment, so Anne and Rebecca can see that. So Wilhelmina, I'm just going to toss it over to you to do in whichever order
Sure.
works for you.
Yep. I can do that. I think Anne said that she had to leave right away. Was that correct?
Yep.
Yes. And Anne
Yes,
was
I'm
tell us.
driving to an appointment.
Okay.
I'm Oscar Pro.
You're Oscar. Okay. Can you see my screen? I do have an Oscar test patient up, and you were talking about the attachment portion of it. So when you're initiating an e-referral in an Oscar patient and Encounter, you'll start with the Consultations Plus tab. And then down on the left-hand side.
I can't see your screen. I don't know if I.
Oh, Jap, can you see my screen?
I can, yep. Well, and we could, if it's difficult now, we could always just, I think it's only.
And if you're
like,
driving,
Wilhelmina's
just
gonna show
and
it's
you're
gonna
on
take 5 minutes,
Teams.
yeah.
If you're driving and you're on Teams, slide, you can scroll and you might actually get it on, or else press the Teams button and you'll be able to see this. You should be able to see the screen.
If you're driving, you should be.
Or if
Not
you're on your
watching the
phone. If you're
screen,
not
just-
driving, but you're on your phone.
Okay, I was a little
not a
nervous
cop.
there. Yeah, I was a little nervous there. I don't want it to be the result of somebody driving into a mailbox or something crazy like that. Do you want me to just
That's
wait a
okay.
second?
I'll just listen, but I may, if someone could touch base with myself or my clinic
Sure.
later on. We'd
We're
love to find out
recording.
about how to do it.
We're recording,
Perfect.
so you can watch it
Yeah.
later if you like, but I'll
Oh,
walk
thank
you.
you.
Yeah, I can walk you through it. When you're in the patient encounter, on the left-hand side, there's the consultations tab, you're going to click the plus button on the consultations tab. That's going to open up your consultations window. And on the left-hand side of that window, you're going to see a number of status options. And underneath that, it will say attach file to consult. So once you select that, you're going to get a pop-up window. From that window, you can go ahead and select the referrals that you want to attach to your document, or sorry, the document you want to attach to the referral. Got that backwards. And then you'll just close that window. So you will now see on that left-hand pane a list of the documents that you are going to attach. Once you've done that, you'll go to the top right-hand corner in the consultations window. You'll see two icons. You'll see the typical Ocean icon. That will take you to the portal. Don't click that one. Click the refer icon. Once you hit that refer icon, it's going to launch you into the health map. And if you've already done the sign on, your name and your clinic's name will appear in the corner. And then from there, you're just going to follow the steps that Jack was telling you about searching and initiating your e-referral. So it really is that simple to attach a document to your e-referral when you're starting out. So that's what we recommend when we do the training. We recommend that you launch all of your e-referrals from that consultations window.
Can we just click on one of the listings? So if Anne's watching this back later, she can see where it pops up and it shows in Ocean that the referral is sending.
On the health map, Jeff?
Yep, that'd be great.
Okay. Oh, let me see what I got. And then we've clicked it. All the patient demographics have populated. Do you want me to keep going, Jeff?
Yeah, just show the attachments at the bottom.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes my attachments don't attach, so Jeff, they're not in the right format. So they would be right here, but on my demo, I don't have the right attachments there. But yes, they will show up here for you.
Yeah, there's like over 400 of us who use the same EMR, so it's a bit more buggy for us. But Anne, if you're watching this back later, at the bottom is where your attachments usually show.
Going to sit right there. Absolutely. Yep.
Cool. Also, and we will email you we have like an instructions document, which sort of you could look at like half a page of this and it would show you screenshots about how to do this. So we'll email that out to you as well.
Yep.
Hopefully you can find a way to get us your email and we'll send that out.
And the other thing that you'd ask for is how can you get to the portal from the patient encounter? Just click on the Ocean icon and that will launch you right into your site's portal page. So very, very simple from Oscar to do that. Okay. From TELUS, attaching a document. Very simple. This is our TELUS test. We're just going to go ahead and grab green bar one of our documents, and then we will go ahead and send this referral out. So we'll click on referral. It'll come up with a little window saying, hey, do you want to name your document? And I'm like, hey, no, that's a great name. Let's not change it. I take the path of least resistance. Then you're going to go into your health map. You'll do everything that Jeff told you because you all remember what he said. You'll go ahead and send your referral, and then your documents are going to appear right just above your signature. You can view the document or you can remove the document if it happens to be the wrong one. And again, you can see that all your patient demographics have populated, including that all-important email address.
That's fabulous. So it's just the same as if you were faxing a referral. You can't fax it until you've green checked. Now, if you go into Ocean and you haven't green checked and then you realize you want to attach something, do you have to close down that referral, exit Ocean and go back in, or can you just go back to the chart and green check and then it'll automatically happen?
That's right. Well, it doesn't happen automatically. You do have to make a few checks, but if you've already sent the e-referral, you can select a document that you want to attach, then use the attach icon here on your toolbar in the center. Just select attach. It's going to do that same thing. It's going to create that little attachment box. It's going to ask you, do you want to change the name, all that fun stuff. And we'd be like, no, we don't want to change the name. Then what you'll do is you need to go find the referral that you want to do the attachment to. So you'll go to the view in Ocean icon here. That's going to launch you into the patient's dashboard. From the dashboard, you are going to select which referral it is you want to add the attachment to. So we'll just pick this one. And then we're going to add our attachment. So we'll select here in our messaging. We'll say, see new blood work, whatever we selected. I'm not sure what it was, but we can type that message in to our physician and then we'll just add our attachment. And what you'll get is you'll get a pop-up box, and everything that you green barred is going to show up here. And you can go ahead and add it and then send your message off to the primary care provider.
Yeah, so
That's so brilliant. So it's just like sending to a patient. It's the exact same way essentially that we send emails to a patient or attach forms to send to a
Mhm.
patient. That's great. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so you have all the functionality right there. And as Jap said, if you if you want to get to the Ocean portal, there's actually a little portal icon that says right here, click here. And that will take you right into the Ocean portal. And you can do that from any patient's chart. Okay. Does that make sense?
Thank you, Wilhelmina. That was great.
Yeah, thanks.
I think Kara has a question for us.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you both so much for that amazing demonstration and lots of great conversation and questions. We really, really appreciate your time and the opportunity to see everything in practice. I think really helps to bring home the learning. So thanks so much for doing that. Like I said, we'll record all of this, and it has been recorded, and so we'll share out the link so you can share with some of your colleagues that maybe were not able to make it to today. And Jap has offered his services ongoing for any questions and follow-up. I'm sure Wilhelmina feels the same way. So take your pick. You've got lots of help and support. I think just one final question that I have. We do often get feedback about the cost of Ocean. So could you just say it again with the recording going? Like, what is the cost to the primary care provider when it comes to Ocean, if there is any?
Yeah, so I'll field that one. So there has never been a cost associated with sending a referral since the inception of Ocean eReferral. Currently, there is funding that will help you to get set up. So we know a lot of clinicians can actually get set up on their own because the setup process is pretty similar. But right now, if you do want to get set up on Ocean eReferral, somebody like myself or Wilhelmina can help you out with this background stuff with the EMR, training, ongoing support, and sending documents that would help you guys after you guys go live. So all free for now. It's always been free to send a referral, but if you get signed up soon, you'll get me and Wilhelmina to help you out.
And do you know, Jap, is there a fee for the specialty side or the receiver side of Ocean?
That's a very interesting question. You're asking that at a very fun time. So what I can say is that it's been fully funded for the last 7 years, and that funding agreement goes to March 31st, 2024. So currently, we're just going to finish out all the receivers that have contacted us, and there's no fees associated with them guaranteed until 2028. For anybody new who comes out to us, the details of that will be coming out this year in May or June. We expect it to be very much the same as previous agreements. You're just catching us at the end of our funding agreement. So, you know, big government, sometimes it takes a month or two to get the funding back into place. But for receivers up until today, it has always been the same as senders. There's no cost associated. We would do the training, the setup, all the EMR stuff. And we expect that to continue as well.
Perfect, thank you.
Rebecca?
Totally off, I guess not off topic, but not wearing my sort of primary care hat, wearing my physician lead hat now. Do you guys have access, like, do you know who in our region is using Ocean and who isn't? So like, I'm just thinking as an OHT, this would be something that's, I think this is valuable for primary care to know. I think the fact that there's funded support to get on Ocean and get using Ocean is actually really, really valuable. And it might be something that we decide either as an OHT or through the regional cancer care program. You know, Shannon, like that could be something that we decided that we wanted to do, to reach out to providers and provider groups. So that's awesome. I see that you do have, so you have a list of who's accepting referrals, but do you have a list of the users making referrals?
We can definitely pull that data. So we work with FITs, FOs, OHTs, all these kind of groups all the times. And just, you would have to sort of let us know what parameters you're looking for. I wouldn't be able to pull it out on the call, but if you connected with me after and you wanted to see who is actually referring in my area, we could accommodate requests like that. we have like somebody on our team who does all those data pulls, and we could get you a list of the physicians that are sending referrals. But we are always, always, always happy to partner with anybody interested. This is not our first time working with Shannon, so Shannon's been a good friend in the past. The DOHT has also been a friend in the past, but if you think people want to hear about this, we could set up webinars for them. If you already know somebody wants to get set up in order to send referrals, we're happy to engage with them directly. There's a few pathways in which people get connected to us. I can't list them all now, but like through hospitals, through FITSFOs, through friends of a doctor. So always happy to engage in any way possible.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm at, I'm in Port Perry, so you guys came out and got us all onboarded all at once. And that was fabulous. So that's how I got onboarded. But now, as a primary care co-lead for the OHT, I really think this would be a great project to keep pushing, right? Not just holding passive webinars, but actually doing reach outs and saying, hey, we have, Ocean support, willing to support your clinic. These are the benefits. And I actually wrote those down. Like, I think in terms of primary care, the fact that if they have email consent from their patients, that patients actually get email of those appointment dates and can confirm by clicking a link is huge. And also that they receive the email when the referral is made. And also the fact that staff can check the status. I mean, it's a huge benefit. And I think those 2 or 3, depending on which way you look at it, benefits alone should actually bring a huge number of primary care providers on board for it. And sometimes it's just that we're not touting the right benefits. Like the benefit of sending an e-referral, primary care might be like, yeah, well, why would I go into Ocean when I can just fax it? But they don't, these benefits are actually real tangible benefits. And I think those are the benefits that primary care will hear. And so as an OHT, I would really love to target probably first off some of our bigger groups because they're easier, obviously, to target, but then moving it out to smaller groups. So we'll reach out to you offline, Jap, but I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks. And I love all the things that you said. And even, today, after presenting a lot of webinars, I still learn, what is most important to specific groups. So I think depending on who you're presenting to, certain things will be more appealing and certain things will be less. But that was some really great feedback that you gave about the parts of Ocean that you like. And I think other physicians with the same practice as you or in the same area would definitely like to see those things as well. And they may not be aware. So that's great feedback.
One of the other things I know that we use regionally, so the episodic access to care clinic for all of Ontario East is in our OHT, is held by our OHT. And I know that the nurse practitioners who work through that program often use Ocean to find, because they're talking with patients virtually from Scarborough to Cornwall, right, and north, all Ontario Health. So they don't necessarily know who the providers are in Cornwall or Ottawa, so they often use Ocean for that. And I think that's another benefit for sure for primary care, because what's happened through the pandemic is our patients have moved but haven't been able to find a new primary care provider. And so, I have patients in Sudbury and Kingston and I don't know, all over. And so when I'm looking for providers for them, part of that is using Ocean. You can just search the map and find out where the X-ray place is. You don't have to go to Google and try to Google it. So that's also another benefit. But I think the tangible benefits really are in the follow-up appointments and things like that, checking status. This has been helpful. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Rebecca, I wish all my webinars went like this, and so many people said so many nice things. My gosh, thank you.
It's fabulous.
Appreciate that.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you all so much, and I appreciate your time and hope that everyone has a fantastic long weekend. This was such a good way to start our long weekend. So thanks so much, Jack and Wilhelmina, for your time.
Thanks for organizing it, Shannon, and thanks
Shannon.
for taking your lunch to be here, guys.
Yes. Nice to meet you all. Bye now.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.